Welcome back to week 3 of the Pokemon TSL. Our first match here going to be between the Ambibob-ombs and the Sinister Quils. My name is Wire Dragon, joined by my co-host Lord Lunith.
What's up, gamers?
Lot minor changes happening between these teams. Nothing too crazy, but a lot to talk about going into this week.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see the stuff that's coming out. There was some nice trades, some interesting picks. I'm actually really excited for this matchup.
And coming off of a really important victory last week for the Quills, being able to put them at that 1-1. However, the Bob-ombs are at that 2-0, so maybe trying to keep their record going and keep their good streak of luck. I think we should pop right into looking at that Ambi Bob-ombs roster and looking at that new Pokemon there in that top right corner.
Yeah, I am super excited about this team. The T-Tar decided to come in over the Slitherwing, and I think that was honestly a brilliant decision. It is a very good setup Pokemon and shows a lot of potential when it comes to abilities like Sandstorm and supports like Garganacl as well.
I'm interested to see. Terra Captains have remained the same, so no changes there. So we'll see how they handle that. And looking over this Quill roster, same Pokemon, but Terra Captains have switched.
Yeah, we've swapped over to the Tauros and the Rotom-Mow. That Paldean Tauros, honestly, fire Pokemon, quite literally. I am super excited to see that thing. If it shows up, I think it's one of the best things to bring in. I'm a little excited for the Florges too. Like, it put in so much work last time. I want to see that thing shine again.
Yeah, I'm with you there. That Florges really did wonders into that last week. We'll see if that Florges decides to show up this week and if it's good. But looks like trainers are in game. Why don't we pop right over there to see the Pokemon that each team brought? And popping in looks like coming from that Bob-ombs roster, we got that Garganacl, King Gambit, we got that Rotom Heat, Dugtrio, Tatsugiri, and that brand new shiny Tyranitar. Looking down that Tauros, Florges, Rotom-Mow, Torkoal, Pincurchin, and Dragonite.
This is looking real spicy between the two. We've even got Rotom Revotum Violence.
So looking base at these Pokemon here, what leads you like going into this matchup from either team?
I mean, to set V's strategy mainly is revolving around the sun, but it may just not be the play just because T-Tar lead seems so strong. So actually, I believe wait, it's weather is by the slowest Pokemon, right? So technically Torkoal would be more advantageous to get the sun set up.
Yeah, potentially interesting leads here as they're selecting them. As you mentioned, that Tyranitar going to maybe cause some weather issues for this Sun team, though it looks like the major Sun taking advantage of users were brought to this matchup.
Indeed. Uh, the other interesting possibility is this Doug trio having Arena Trap as an ability. If anything that comes in against it, if it's not ready, can just possibly get absolutely blown out by it.
Yeah, waiting to select leads here. A lot of time being taken to this one, potentially knowing that there might be a mini weather war going on here.
Yeah, I think both of them are honestly just trying to play around this real smart, thinking like trying to I almost like outmatch the opponent. Like, what is my weather gonna? Oh,
Yeah, we load in Tatsugiri coming from the Bomb's Dragonite lead once again from that Quills roster.
okay. So this seems like a very powerful pick. The Tatsugiri coming in. At least it's got the dragon ability, but we do got Dragon v Dragon. The Dragonite most likely has a multi-scale, so it should not have too many issues off the rip against this Tatsugiri.
Yeah, waiting to select moves here, maybe threatening each other with that Dragon or maybe even Ice type move from this Tatsugiri. So gonna be an interesting turn one to play here. What moves would you make here from either side?
I'm
Oh, Draco coming out, missing that turn one Dragon Claw, immediately killing that Tatsugiri as revenge.
wow, coming right out, absolute slap. I am just absolutely impressed that the V just went straight for the Dragon Claw move. I think it might have been better to do a Dragon Dance, but obviously V looks like he just wants to come in, take it out, and move on.
It's interesting too because that Tatsugiri going for that dragon move with that Florgus known on the team. So interesting prediction by Matt trying to go for it, and unfortunately the miss cost him a Pokemon loss here with that Dragonite getting the free Dragon Claw off as the Garganacl switches in.
Yeah, Garganacl's interesting switching here, probably coming in with a Sturdy, I think is the most popular ability nowadays, so it should be able to get some nice damage on this Dragonite as a reverse smack.
It's also got the pretty good option as the Earthquake comes out. Salt Cure going onto that Dragonite, doing super effective damage, healing with the leftovers from that Salt Cure, bringing Dragonite a little lower here.
Yeah, Garganacl puts in so much work being absolute tank. It is honestly my favorite Pokemon to come out of the Gen 9 decks. I absolutely adore this. Salt Cure is so funny as an ability.
With the leftovers demonstrated, perhaps showing that he is that other ability there, maybe potentially bringing that more popular, I would assume, for this matchup. Ability that's signature to Garganacl in that Purifying Salt. Recover coming out from Garganacl, putting it to full HP as Toro switches in, intimidating the Garganacl.
Yeah, the Intimidate's probably going to come in pretty good here. Garganacl is going to do significantly less damage, even though it is a damage over time Pokemon. At least reduce some of the chip.
When you select moves here, fighting typing move on the field, though this Garganacl is a Terra Captain. In fact, both are, so there's actually a fifth button here offensively. Terra Flying coming out from the Garganacl, close combat only doing 15% with that Terra change. Curse coming out from the Garganacl, changing its stats, making it slightly better, leftovers healing, and honestly the turn ending with really just defense lowering for the Tauros.
Yeah, this Tauros kind of put itself in a worse position. The Garganacl, it obviously it doesn't care about its speed, and it's just going to sit there most likely and tank itself up all the way.
With this Terra flying, it's looking a lot better into this Tauros right now, so potentially we're looking for either that Terra Captain to come out from this Tauros or switch here from the Quils, unless they got some other move up their sleeve. Meanwhile, Garganacl relatively sitting pretty.
Yeah, we still don't know the fourth move on the Garganacl as well. It could be a Terra Blast as well, threatening the flying type super effective damage on the Tauros, making it really scary.
Who's selected here? Even if you're in a up one Pokemon here from the Quills, I feel like you're pretty comfortable here sitting on this Garganacl for a while.
Yeah, I mean at this point it comes to a showing of just what V wants to do with the rest of their strategy at this point. The Garganacl shouldn't apply an extreme amount of pressure, but it's still something to just be aware of, like what the next step in the process is going to be.
Yeah, Rotom Mow finally switching in, and actually a double switch out for the Rotom Heat, both Rotom variants staring each other down.
We got the Rotom v Rotom Violence coming in. Lending slight favor over to the Rotom Heat due to type effectiveness.
No Terra Captain out from V yet. Maybe trying to go for the Terra Captain here or just the hard switch out. Maybe over predicting and getting a free damage off depending on if the bombs try to double here. Volt switch coming out from the Rotom dealing 12%, going to switch out first, either showing that it is faster or speed tied.
Yeah, I honestly I kind of imagine that both Rotoms are going for switch.
Yeah, actually, Pincursion comes in, setting up the electric terrain 26%, coming from the opposing Volt switch, switching into that Doug trio.
Ooh, that Doug trio coming in. Most likely having Arena Trap, locking in the Pincurchin, making sure it can't escape, shutting down the electric terrain.
Yeah, with this position, if it is Arena Trap, it's going to have to sit here, and it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for this Pincurchin. We need to see what the next move is here.
Hmm. Yeah, honestly I was expecting the.
Ooh, not Arena Trap, going for Stealth Rocks. I'm trying to actually remember if Arena Trap is banned in OU format. It's been so long.
That's a great point. I am not 100%. But yeah, Florgus comes here showing its you know, going to show its power most likely. I love the look of this shiny Florgus. I have never seen this before.
Yeah, it's a nice purple, I will have to admit. Though interesting Florgus coming in here on a physical mod, not really what the Florgus is known to try to bulk and tank.
Hmm. The
Rotom Heat switching in, Wish coming from the Florges.
this Forgus honestly is sitting in a really pretty position at this point. Now it's got the Wish up. It gets either the option to just switch out and do a better Pokemon for the fight, or just go straight for the damaging move.
Yeah, going to be a really good healing turn for the Quills, depending on what they switch in, though they do have to worry about the Volt Switch immediately getting a favorable matchup coming from this Rotom Heat.
Mhm. Yeah, I kind of like just going for a decent Moon Blast, trying to deal good damage.
Switching out to this Dragonite, going for the discharge into it, almost killing it, but getting that heal after that turn is going back up to 57%.
I like the idea of coming back into the Dragonite to give it the heal. At least try to keep this Mon healthy and bring it in, especially since rocks are up, giving it a major disadvantage for future switches.
Yeah, waiting for Moose to be selected here. Interesting to see what this Dragonite is threatening on this Rotom Roost coming out from the Dragonite, landing this Pokemon, going to take less from that electric move, only doing 9% with the resistant typing and assumably the multi-scale resetting itself.
Yep.
Waterfall immediately coming out, doing a ton of damage, discharge coming out, doing another 43% paralysis, getting onto that Dragonite, slowing it down very much so.
Oh, that paralysis, halving the speed of the Dragonite, I think actually now sets it at a lower speed than the Rotom Heat if they were both max speed.
Waiting for moves to come out here, potentially threatening an extreme speed from this Dragonite. So I assume the bombs are calculating the risks here for that. Waiting to see what moves actually get selected here.
We actually do know we actually know the Dragonite's full move set here. We know it does not have the E speed.
Hmm. So
So
Garganacl switching in, Roost coming again from the Dragonite, putting this nearly back to full health, but not quite. Still not going to be able to reset that multi-scale ability.
okay, Garganacl coming in here, honestly looking pretty good into the Dragonite. It doesn't seem like it has that many good moves against it, and being a flying type, it gives it immunity to Earthquake.
Yeah, only really potentially dealing the stab damage of Dragon Claw here, but we've already demonstrated how strong this Pokemon's rock type moves are in that Salt Cure. So interesting decisions to be made here.
We also still don't know that fourth move on the Garganacl. It could be a whole plethora of things.
Torkoal switching in here, taking that Stealth Rock chip but setting up the Sun Salt Cure coming right onto the Torkoal, 18%, and the Salt Cure procs putting it down to 13 as the Garganacl heals back up to full with that leftovers.
Yeah, I mean Tankmon versus Tankmon at this point. The Torkoals came in, set up the Sun, probably trying to activate the fire type moves, getting some extra damage throughout this because the Garganacl is much more of a physical bulky mon than a special one. Maybe V is looking to try and get a decent amount of damage on it before possibly swapping out.
Yeah, the nice part here too is with that with the Garganacl no longer being a rock type, it's not going to be resistant to this fire type move. Earthquake does come out, only doing 28% of the Torkoal Stealth Rocks traded, getting that on both sides of the field now.
Okay, so this Torkoal going to 5% is
Immediately getting switched out for the Rotom as another Sulkier comes out. I mean, we keep seeing the chip damage from this Pokemon.
yeah, Garganacl really showing its power with the Salt Cure, just extra 13% per Pokemon, just taking it down, taking it down, taking it down.
Not seeing a heavy duty boots user coming from the Quills yet. So this Stealth Rocks is putting in a lot of work, especially into this Garganacl. It's not switching out, staying on the field, and healing.
This Garganacl is really just kind of showing up and saying, I am the wall, deal with me.
Electric move threatening here from the Quills. Interested to see how much damage that will do if the bombs leave this Pokemon in to take that and try to soak that damage up.
We also now have the full move set learned for the Garganacl. Now we know that has the Earthquake, so it does not have any way to capitalize on the flying type offensively.
Yeah, Rotom heat switching and going for the Volt Switch and failing. So not being able to switch the Rotom out, dealing an extra bit of Salt Cure, but another Pokemon down for the Bob-ombs, putting them at a 4 to 6 disadvantage here.
Yeah, honestly, it might also be a play to try and wear out the sun a little longer, just trying to make sure that that doesn't come in and take out a couple months just due to the extra damage boost.
Yeah, trying to figure out what the switch in here is to this Rotom Mo. I don't believe we've seen an item yet from this Mo, correct?
No, we have not seen anything proc off of it yet.
Essentially choicing itself as Tyranitar comes in, changing that sun into sand.
Okay, Sandstream coming out, Tyranitar showing its colors. Yeah,
Leaf Storm coming out, 84% done to that Tyranitar, not killing it, sub failing because it did too much damage. So it was, in fact, not a choice item.
oh, incredible coming in. Yeah, that absolutely fantastic by V coming in with the Leaf Storm, dealing enough that even the substitute move could not proc. This Rotom is sitting here feeling good about its day with that big smile on his face.
And you gotta imagine the Volt Switch is relatively heat free here from the Quills. Not many, only one Pokemon is immune to it in that Dug Trio, so coming right out, as said, Volt Switch in, gets a free switch into whatever Pokemon they want to set up for whatever is switching in next.
Yeah, honestly,
Car's coming in. Garganacl switching in, and due to the order of operations here, no Intimidate going onto that Garganacl, unfortunately.
yeah, revealing that it is, I believe, Clear Body. Oh, order of operation. No, you're right. My apologies. That's right. The Intimidate would not proc because the Garganacl was not in the field yet. So we still technically don't know the ability of. Oh,
Kirchen coming in, Electric Surge up, Curse coming once again from this Garganacl, giving it a defensive boost, chip damage from Sand, but healing up that Garganacl with the leftovers puts it back at neutral.
maybe V here predicting that there will be a switch.
Earthquake not killing the Pincurchin, Discharge coming out, dealing 53%. Pincurchin will die to Sand, but that Garganacl is now down to 22%, 5-3 lead for the Quills.
Okay, this Garganacl managed to take out that Pincurchin, but it is now in threshold that if the Garganacl was to switch, it would die to the rocks on re-entry.
Looking for a Pokemon here potentially that's going to be able to take out this Garganacl quickly. Not many great options, but a decent amount as the Florges comes in.
We also get to see here if this Tyranitar was carrying a what is it, the sand rock to increase the length of the sandstorm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wait and
And
see. Wait and click moves here.
yeah, honestly, from V's position, it honestly a wish here just to make sure that you don't take any excess damage you don't care about, and going for damaging moves is very safe.
Wish here from the Florges, letting the Garganacl heal back up here. So now we have two relatively healthy Pokemon sitting on the field.
Yeah, this I still think V is currently in a very good position from this point.
Moonblast coming out 38%. Curse once again coming out from that Garganacl. With the sand gone now, this Garganacl will actually be healing back up with its leftovers. Moonblast immediately right again away. Recover coming out healing that Moonblast damage.
Yeah, V just trying to come in here.
Moonblast again, special attack drop, but the Recover still out healing.
We're in the war now, baby.
Wish Salt Cure in that order. So Salt Cure on the Florges, but either it or the Pokemon switches into next will be healed for 50% of Florges' stat.
Yeah, this Garganacl sitting here with 2 times attack, 2 times defense, really looking like a big threat now.
Yeah, we've been talking about it. While the Bombs do have a lower Pokemon count as the Rotom switches in Sulkier killing it, there is a Supreme Overload Pokemon sitting back in that Bombs roster, potentially trying to sit there until the last Pokemon in the game. Maybe trying to take advantage of it as the Tauros Intimidate does go off here.
Yeah, I do believe that King Gambit is trying to come in and be the finale sweeper on Matt's team, just trying to preserve it as long as possible, just to see what kind of shenanigans you can get away with on it.
Zen Headbutt actually missing onto that Garganacle as another curse comes out. Garganacle back at 100% HP.
This Tauros is the other Terra captain on this team.
Zen Headbutt coming again, only 5% damage as the Earthquake does kill the Tauros here. No Terra Captain available for this Quils lineup, and all of a sudden, you gotta say that this matchup is definitely starting to favor the Bombs here.
Yeah, this Garganacle's coming back in and putting in so much work.
Dragonite switching in, taking that 25% from the Stealth Rocks up. Still paralyzed. Dragonclaw only doing 10% here. Garganacle hitting the Salt Cure, 54% damage, going back down to 7% after that Salt Cure hits end of turn. Dragonclaw immediately after, but this Garganacle's got to put this Dragonite away. 3-2 now in favor of the Bombs, who have the first lead of this series.
Yep.
Torkoal comes in, Torkoal dies. Welcome to Stealth Rocks. Florgus, the last Pokemon for the Quills.
And I think this, unless a miracle happens, this Garganacle's sitting here pretty, looking at this Florgus, telling, come at me, bro.
Yeah, 3-1 Florgus against the world, but against a Garganacle who has +2 attack and +2.5 defense. Moonblast coming out doing 35%, but Salt Cure 39. End of turn leftovers might save it for one last turn here, but that Salt Cure, it's going to be hard to not put it in the ground. Moonblast for one last move. Salt Cure killing, and that is a 3-0 victory for your Ambibob-ombs.
This match felt like a wild ride to me. I felt like this kept going back and forth, back and forth.
It was relatively really well navigated by the Bombs there at the end, coming from a 6-3 deficit and winning the game after.
Yeah, this Garganacle really came up. Then Terra flying as well. Very, very cool Terra typing for the Pokemon, showing, just the being able to immune any ground type advantages and sit there and deal with the fighting type moves as well.
Yeah, would you say the Garganacle was definitely the change in where this matchup happened?
Oh, 100%. I think when this Garganacle came in the the second time, just sat there, was able to heal itself back up with Recover and Curse Up. It was almost decided at that point because V didn't really have a really good answer after that massive defense boost.
All right. Well, our closest series of the TSL with only a +3 here, so maybe getting some closer matchups and learning. But now we have this matchup, but many other matches this week to come, which I hope are also going to be as interesting and as back and forth as this one felt today.
Yeah, I want to see Garganacle again. I love this Pokemon so much. But yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we will have to wait a week till a Garganacle shows up because they do not play for the rest of this week. So put that one in the back pocket. But our next matchup in the order will be the Whoop Batman Incorporated versus the Chillin' Cyndaquils. So I can't wait to see that one. And I appreciate y'all watching today, and I hope to see you guys next time.
Have a great one, gamers.